So, when's the last time you just had stress stacking up after stress, one after another, and you just started to feel buried by it? I'm talking, you know, got in a car accident on your way home from vacation, you manage to make it the next 7 hours home, and you get back, you get the car fixed, but it's not fixed well enough, and it leaves you sitting on the side of the road. The stress from all of that makes you grit your teeth hard enough that now you've got to go get emergency dental care. They put you on antibiotics, and that gives you some other health issues from the reactions to that. Then your phone stops working, and then your air conditioner goes out all within the span of 2 weeks. This is not much of an exaggeration. We've had those days, we've had those weeks, we've had those summers. When stress starts to stack up like that, a lot of the time, there's not much you can do to keep it from happening, but you need to be aware of what it will do to you and also what you can do to help yourself. If you're new to my world, welcome. I'm Dr. Vicky, gentle chiropractor for people as well as pets. I'm a Reiki healer and a mind body coach. What I do is help you be the very best that you could possibly be. Be your best self, physically, mentally, and emotionally, because you've got to look at all three pieces. If you're only looking at one, you're missing 2/3 of what makes up you. So if you want to be your best, we got to look at how all three of those interact together. And whew, when we're talking stress, it hits all three hard. So let's dive on in with what happens when we keep having stress after stress after stress over and over in rapid, short periods of time. When we have a stressful situation, which the scientists with even more initials behind their names than I've got, they define that as a fear or a perceived threat to safety, status, or well-being. Now, a lot of folks immediately will think, physical danger, that your body is in physical danger of harm, and that is absolutely part of it. But that also includes stress that your social standing or your standing within your relationships could be under threat. Uh, could be that you feel like you're not safe and secure in your home or in your job or in your finances. It can enter in a lot of different places. Stress is everywhere. And when we have a stress response, when we have a stressor come up, and this can be good stress, this can be bad stress. This can come up when we're planning those vacations, and that is good stress. But the same response happens. When that stress response occurs, our body throws out adrenaline and cortisol. Those are the two main stress hormones that go into our bloodstream. And what they're meant to do is kick off fight or flight, because the body does not know the difference between the stress of coming nose to nose with mama bear in prehistoric times and coming nose to nose with drama on Facebook. Or coming nose to nose with, oh crap, I gotta have a root canal. Or, oh crap, it's 90 degrees in my house because the AC went out. It doesn't know the difference. It responds the same way. That fight or flight response, it's going to increase your heart rate. It's going to give you tunnel vision, not the literal definition where you're seeing black around the periphery, but focus wise, attention wise, what you are aware of in your surroundings will be tunnel visioned. You will be hyper focused on one or two things at a time, and everything else going on around you is going to go unnoticed because your body says, I need to focus on this one thing so that I can figure out at the drop of a hat if I need to fight it off or get the heck out of Dodge. It's going to increase your heart rate and increase tension in all of your muscles because it's preloading them with all of the blood and oxygen and nutrients that they need to fire off if they need to. Whether or not they need to, your body's preparing to fight off mama bear. So, all this extra stress and tension, increased heart rate, tunnel vision, What that all means is we are fired and ready to fight or flee, whether or not that's actually what's healthy and functional to do. And all of that comes with a whole hoop and bunch of absolute laundry list of health challenges that we hear about when someone has been under chronic stress for too long, with heart disease and heart challenges, kidney function challenges, arthritis, blood pressure, all sorts of crazy things, fibromyalgia, all sorts of craziness can come up when we're under stress for too long and too consistently. When we have what's called maladaptive responses to stress, meaning we are responding to stress in not the healthiest and most functional ways by magnifying psychologically how bad the stress is. We're blowing things out of proportion, or ruminating over it, replaying the stress over and over again of how we mucked it up, how things could have gone wrong, how things did go wrong, what we said wrong, going over and over and over again. Feeling helpless about it of, woe is me, this always happens, there's nothing I can do, the world is out to get me. Those are just a few examples of how we maladapt to stress, and we all do it and all have done it. All of that can actually fire off those hormones, those stress chemicals again, even though the stress isn't there. It fires them off again, and guess what? If those chemicals are there, they do what your body was meant to do when it came nose to nose with Mama Bear. Even if you're sitting on your couch hours or days after the initial stress happened and is over with, you're firing off all those chemicals again. Now, adrenaline tends to last in the body about an hour, from what the studies I've seen are saying, after the stress has ended. Now, if you're in a situation where that stress does not end, guess what? The adrenaline's constantly kicking. If what's stressing you is someone in your house or in your work or your bank account, you can't get away from it. It's constantly there. Cortisol, the other stress hormone, can kick around in the body for several hours, if not a day or even more. And again, if you're having those maladaptive responses of magnifying, ruminating, bringing it back up over and over again, dwelling on the helplessness, that fires it all off all over again. What can we do about this? Because if you've constantly got these stress hormones going, not only is your body feeling wrecked, because when you are in fight or flight, everything else goes out the window. Your body is running purely on baseline survival, which is my brain functioning and is my heart and lungs functioning? That's it. Another phrasing that I've seen gone around, another phrase that I've seen gone around is that the opposite of fight or flight is rest and digest. If you are in fight or flight, your digestive system is tanked. You're not processing what you're eating, which means you might be packing on the pounds because your body's not processing it like it's supposed to. Or you might be losing out on nutrients that you're supposed to be getting. And you're probably not sleeping well. Because if you need to fight from Mama Bear, fight off Mama Bear, or fly away from Mama Bear, flee, the body's not focused on rest. The body's not focused on taking in energy. It's focused on having energy to burn. On the mental side, when that stress is going, you are going to miss so many things that are going on in your world that you need to pay attention to. If you have ever had an argument while you are in the car, especially if you're the driver, you might not notice that the light ahead of you just turned red. Or you might not have noticed the stop sign you just passed. You might not notice the police officer that's been chasing you for the past mile with their lights on. You miss things. You could be missing something really important at work or really important at home because the stress chemicals are blinding you to it. And the emotional side, oof, we've all been there where we are just so strung out because of all of the stress that keeps piling up and keeps going on that every little thing can start to set us off, either into a puddle of tears, been there, or into a flurry of fury, been there. I'm a Capricorn. I tend not to get too angry. I tend to just sob in a corner, cry quietly. We all have our ways. But it can take such a toll physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, what the heck can we do to help ourselves? Because these stresses that keep going on, sometimes there is something we can do to address them, especially if it's a chronic stress or something that happened in the past and is over with. There are some ways that we can address how we're continuing to think about them and frame them psychologically, mentally, so they don't have as much of an effect physically. But sometimes those stresses, they're just gonna happen. That's life. Life has a way of happening, whether we want it to or not, in ways we want them to or not. You're not going to be able to control the fact that the tractor trailer in front of you as you're on the highway driving home from vacation is going to blow a tire right in front of you. Maybe at a little bit more follow distance, but if it's happened, it's happened. You can't undo it. There's not much you can do to help if the air conditioner breaks down other than get on the phone and call somebody to come fix it as quickly as you can. Sometimes things just happen. So when they happen, and they keep happening, because things are going to pile up, it's just how life works. What can you do to help yourself get through it in a healthier, more functional way and not get so worn down and beat down by all the stuff piling up? When those stress chemicals are kicking around in your body, especially in the short term, a great way to help process that energy, because it's all just energy. Energy is neither good nor bad, it just is. And it's there to be used or transformed into something else. So if you've got the energy of those stress hormones kicking, a great way to start to use that energy in a positive and healthy way is to do 10 to 20 minutes of brisk physical activity. Start burning them, start getting some of that extra blood and inflammation and oxygen that has been stored up in your muscles and your joints. Use it in a healthy and functional way. Go out, do 10 to 20 minutes of brisk physical activity. That can be power walking, that can be going for a jog or going for a swim, that can be kicking on the tunes in your living room and doing some like crazy dance boxing thing. Brisk physical activity. And hey, if you're stuck at the office and you cannot get out of your desk, you can run off to the bathroom real quick if you can't do laps around the office. Run to the bathroom real quick, lock yourself in a stall so nobody can see you and laugh at you, and pulse your hands really, really fast for a while. Jog in place. There's things you can do for that brisk physical activity. Start to burn some of that energy off. It's just energy. Use it. Once you've done that, then we can start to tell the body to come back down. Tell the body that we have used this energy. Thank you for firing off those stress hormones and for giving us the energy to be able to do what we need to do. There's things we can do with our bodies to tell our bodies and our minds, I'm complete with this stress hormone cycle. We can call this done and close the book and go back to normal. And that is with 20 to 30 minutes of deep breathing, also known as breath work, and gentle stretching. That can look like yoga. That can look like a Reiki session or a massage session. Deep breathing gets all that oxygen flowing and also starts to bring down that blood pressure. If you are able to take deep, easy breaths for a prolonged period of time, that gives your brain the message of, hey, if I'm free enough to take this nice deep breathing for this long, chances are Mama Bear is not in my face right now. So I can start to calm down. I can start to complete the cycle of throwing out those stress hormones. Same with the gentle stretching. That can start to move that excess blood and lactic acid, all of that that has built up extra stress and tension physically in the body, and start to release it. We burned up some of it with our brisk physical activity. Now we can start to move it out of the body with that gentle, relaxing stretching. Because what we do with our bodies has an influence on our minds. What we do with our minds has an influence on our bodies. So as we start to bring our bodies down and relax our bodies, we're also relaxing our minds. And we can do that in reverse too, starting to relax our minds, working on that mind-body connection of really telling ourselves, okay, I've done all I can in this situation. This is as under control as it can possibly be. I'm safe. Everything is as good as it can be right now. I've got plans to take care of what needs to be taken care of. I've got resources that I can reach out to help me with what I need assistance with. Now it's time to start bringing it down, relaxing, getting back to being your very best. Having that stress response is absolutely what is supposed to happen. It is important and it is a good thing that that happens. But we need to not let it run away with us. We need to keep it in check so that we can be our best and not be run down. If you need assistance so that you can feel more free and unrestricted so that you can do those brisk physical activities. If something has really been hurting you or really been stuck physically, mentally, or emotionally, and you feel like you can't get out and do that brisk physical activity, reach out to me. Let's see if a gentle chiropractic session is what you need to get you freeing and able to move like you want to so you can start to get free of that stress. If you need assistance with releasing and relaxing especially on the mental and emotional side, so that then you can start to relax on the physical side, a Reiki session might be what you need. Reach out to me. Let's see what's going to be the best fit for you and if I'm the best fit for you, because I'm not quite sure. So let's chat. Let's have a no charge phone consultation and see what's going to be the best fit for you. You can reach me on my direct line at 636-751-3150. Leave me a voice message or send me a text and let me know you're looking for a consult to help you be your very best. Or hop on over to my website, CompleteWellnessCC.com, and there's a tab at the top to set your consult. So, that stress response, when things just keep piling up one after another, and those stressful hits just don't seem to stop coming. When it all starts stacking up, now you know you've got the tools to understand what is happening physically, mentally, and emotionally when that's going on, and also some ways to start to stop the cycle so you can get back on track to being your very best. Until next time, go out, enjoy the wonders that life has to offer for you, stressful or otherwise, because there's a lot of good stress out there too. I will catch you guys next time. Bye now.